What's going on, King? Welcome to the chat. All these crimped. Looks good. I don't know what that was on there. Some tarnish on that one. Whoops. Oh, all right, we got it. Flew over. We got it. Oops. Lots of crimps on these. Lots of crimps. And this one in particular has some nice corn cob in it. Get that corn cob out of there. It's no good. Looks good. Lots of brass shavings everywhere. Every piece of this brass is crimped. Get that crimp out of there. See, these ones in particular have like tarnish on them. I don't know what that's from. This is from an indoor range. Guess we'll address that in a minute. It's that crimp in there again. Crimp's gone. I call this the shiny cone. It's a really nice inner in there. What I really should do is switch these two around. Give you a workout with your hands, I'll tell you that. It's like an amusement park, somebody said. Shiny. Nice and shiny. Yeah, all these have tarnish on them. I don't know what's going on. They're shiny, though. I'm not real happy about how dirty these pockets are. They're dirty and crimped? Oh, well. Just have to try to clean them up best we can. Oh, that hurt. Tired of looking at this. There. Now it's out of the way. Put those somewhere neat. Hopefully, I don't forget where they are. Looks good. That looks good. I don't know what the hell this is in here. Piece of brass. Cool channel. Is reloading 22 LR worth it? Wall packs? Absolutely not. It's cheaper. It's just cheaper to buy it. I like to tumble the 22 because there's so much of it, but just something to look cool. It just usually gets scrapped anyway. Wall packs. Because you can buy a lot of that 22 for really, really cheap. I mean, you can be at the range all day putting 22 down range and not even notice. I know some guys do it, but I'm not going to do it. Wish 556 was that cheap. Yeah, limit. That would be nice. I think back in the day before a lot of us were born, it was that cheap, but not nowadays. That's why I'm here on this, specific machine making my own Vulpix. Yeah, it's more so I want to get into reloading, but I don't know where to start. Situation. Start with getting the books, Vulpix. Do a lot of reading, ask a lot of questions, go online to the forums. This stuff can be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing and you don't do your proper reading. So that's my advice. I just get some reloading books, watch watch a lot of YouTube videos. It can be fun and it can save you money if you do it right. But yeah, 556 and 223 isn't cheap. That's why we're making it right now. Kaiden, yo, what's up? What's going on, man? Well, packs. That's why I'm doing right now. Lots of research. Yeah, it takes time. Don't rush it. I know Ultimate Reloader is a good channel on YouTube. He kind of goes over everything. That was kind of my channel when I first started reloading, and then I started looking up. But again, books are pretty good too. Nothing much, just at the shooting range. Really? Where are you at right now? I'm glad you tuned in. Donkey is dead. This is a Lyman case prep express. We're prepping brass for reloading. Full packs. Ultimate Reloader. I'll check him out. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the guy's name is Gavin, but he goes really in depth with the reloading stuff. It's definitely my top recommended channel, at least. Dutch Commando. Hey man, just stumbled upon your stream. How long does it take to reload something like 200 rounds normally? Without distractions and you do it nonstop, uh, are you talking just doing it on the press itself? Or are you talking about doing all the steps and then reloading? If you're just doing it, if you're just doing it on the press itself, uh, probably an hour if everything's prepped. Chad Bain, what's going on, man? Welcome into the chat. H201 Rons. What's your favorite gun? Uh, Handgun or rifle? It's a good question. Yeah, quite a few of them. Quite a few of them. I can't really narrow down which gun specific is my favorite. Just Commando, huh? It's not as long as I thought it would. And it really depends. If you got a single stage, a progressive, a turret, some guys have automated presses. It all depends. If you have experience, you can probably do it faster. But I mean, I like to take my time with this stuff. Kaiden, I went hunting last week. What'd you get, Kaiden? Where were you hunting? Rounds, rifle. My favorite rifle would be a 6.5 Creedmoor APF. It's a local manufacturer here in the States. That was my favorite rifle. There's a lot of variations of the rifle. My other favorite one is the Mossberg ATR 30-06. That was a very impressive gun. Very impressive rifle. Caden, I got an antelope and a Cape buffalo. You must be out there in Africa. How much did they weigh? Especially that buffalo. I'd like to know how much that weighed. Dutch Commando. I'm thinking about getting a SMLE, so reloading seems like the best option for 303 Brit. Yeah, it's funny because I have 303 Brit just sitting around. I got some of that brass just sitting around. Kaiden with a 500 Nitro Express. Yes, I live in South Africa. Yeah, that's the 500 Nitro Express is a big round. I watched those get pretty much handmade on the machine at the plant. Is the one of the local big manufacturers here in the States, and I used to work there as a former employee. I was in the rifle division, so I got to watch the guy make those 500 Nitro Expresses, and that's it's crazy. Andy, it's definitely not cap. Yeah, it's definitely not cap, buddy. Al, is that Elephant Killer 500 Nitro? Yes, absolutely. Andy says, yeah, it is cap. No, it's definitely not. I definitely got my proof in here. Shane, what do you think the most reliable gun or ammo? That's a very vast question. I've heard Glocks are reliable. Me personally, I know Springfield Armory is. I've personally never had a problem with them. I know a lot of guys have problems with those. Um, Six Sawyers has a lot of good. It's a really good gun as well. Really good manufacturer. I don't hear a lot of problems with those three. Caden, what is he saying cap about? He doesn't think that I worked at a ammo manufacturing plant. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm not mad at Andy. Nobody should be mad at him. If I was to flip this camera around and actually show you guys what else is in the room, you'd understand. Rishi Gamer Pro, welcome into the chat. Which one do you like, 700 Nitro or 600 Nitro? Hour Kill. I've actually haven't heard of those rounds. I watched 500 Nitro get made on the machine, but I'd never heard of 700 Nitro or 600 Nitro, so that's new to me, Rushy. Al, MP and Shield has quite the reputation on reliability. That is correct. I have a Shield and an MP. The MP is a 9mm, and the Shield is in 380. I've never had a problem with either of them. Shane, do you hunt? Yes, I do. Andy, do you have any ARs? I have several ARs. Several. My wife has her own as well. Dutch Commando, I have had a lot of good luck with PTR 91 for reliability. Really? I didn't know that was a very reliable gun, Dutch. How long have you had that one? Channel. I love 380. Oh man, so do I. As a matter of fact, I'll show you how much I love 380. Give me 1 second. I'll show you. So channel, that's how much I love 380. That's all 380 brass back there. It's about 22 pounds. Some of it's dirty, some of it's clean. Yeah, I absolutely love 380 because this stuff is so expensive to buy, and you can make it so cheap, so freaking cheap to make this stuff. And knowing if you guys know me, I reload this by head stamp, so sorting that stuff out is a nightmare and it takes time, but it brings consistency. Andy, don't watch Kentucky Ballistics? From somebody that used to do ballistics, I support his channel and I like it. It's just not my type of format. He definitely knows his stuff. It's just not really my format. Channel, yeah, it's a lot of 380. Al, that's a lot to reload. Oh yeah. See, Dutch Commando. I mean, it's a roller delayed blowback. The recoil is snappy but predictable. See, as long as you know your gun, that's what matters. And you know it's reliable and it'll run without issues. That's all you really need, H Rounds, welcome in. Welcome into the chat. I really wish I could own a gun, but the government in my country is strict. Well, what country is that? I really hope it's not Canada. Russia, I am thinking about to buy a gun. Which one do you recommend? 6.5 Creedmoor or 300 Rum? Do you have what kind of experience do you have, Rushy? That's my question. Andy, get a 308. I have a 308. It's a Savage 308. It's very, 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 very consistent gun. Malaysia. I didn't know they were strict. I don't hear about Malaysia a lot. That's kind of odd. Caden, I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the chat, Caden. Al, here in the Philippines, you need to be Army Reserve or pass an exam to own a gun. I think that's fair, Al. Maverick from Makaru Mafia, big up, bro. What's up, Maverick? Welcome to the chat. Makaru or Makaran? It's a beautiful country out there, man. Rushy. Deer hunting with my girlfriend, user rifle. Yeah, so you got experience, Rushy. Rhett, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Shane, I have a 20 gauge slug gun and it's amazing. It has 3 deer on it. Shane, I salute you. I absolutely salute you. Ron's Demolition Ranch made me fall in love with guns. Yeah, Demolition Ranch and Kentucky Ballistics, those are excellent channels. I'm proud of those guys. I love their content. Maverick, thank you, bro. Yeah, man, that's a beautiful country out there, man. I've watched a lot of documentaries and stuff on there. I love those people out there. They're really nice, too. Andy, I'm talking to Rushy. Oh, okay. Rushy, Andy's communicating with you. Yeah, everybody's coming in here. That's kind of why I like coming on later at night like this, because I get people from all over the world instead of just inside the U.S. I get different perspectives. Demolition Ranch just retired. Really? Why is that? Funky, welcome to the chat, Funky. What is this? Are you making bullets? Well, we are preparing the brass to make bullets. Rushy says hi, Andy. Base boys. I'm just the American. So am I, base. So am I. Us dirty Americans, right? Just filthy Americans. So why do you need to own a gun, you dirty American? Malaysia is beautiful, Ron says. Malaysia is a beautiful country, but the government is kind of bad lately. Really? I didn't know about that. Al. I like watching Demo Ranch in Kentucky B-Mag dumping tracer rounds, full metal jackets. I think I actually saw that one. It sounds really familiar. Rhett, I got a 1978 270 Winchester. Really? How long have you had that? That's kind of neat. Northwest Tac. Hi, what do you recommend on powder for a 308? 8335. That's what I would run. Rounds. Yeah, I heard Matt Demolition Ranch is quitting YouTube. I don't know why you would quit YouTube. Base boy, what are you reloading? 223. 223 is what we are reloading. Funky. You also got an Indian audience. Love your work, bro. Appreciate it, Funky. Thanks for tuning in. Shane. Should I invest in a bullet prepping and making set like yours? Yeah, it depends how serious you are. Rhett, I got it when I was 5. Oh, Rhett, you must have had it for a while then, man. That's cherished. That's definitely something to keep close to, man. That's that's cool to hear. I like that. Lot Mush. Ever made 300 black subsonic? I am on my way to do that. That is on our next list. Rushy, I am. That's right, Rushy. We're just dirty Americans. Soft to go, bros. Crafting for a revolution. No. This is just for range stuff to bring the family and bring people, whatever, whoever wants to go with. Just gotta make sure we have plenty of it. Rhett. It was my dad's gun. Yeah, Rhett, you gotta keep that baby clean and keep it in the storage. That's one of those guns you shoot and you go clean it right away. That's cool, Rhett. Getting a Winchester as a family heirloom. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rons, I really want an FN 57. It's a beautiful gun. Rounds, that's actually on my list. I see them on sale all the time, but they're hard to. You're usually gone by then. Andy, about the 308, it's much cheaper round than most hunting cartridges. Also, very light recoil for a very mean round. They're made for accuracy, and most 308s get about a half-inch group at 100 yards. Andy, you are correct, 100%. Don't mind me just off camera for a second. Welcome into the chat, everybody. Let's see. Andy Made. Rhett, I love it so much. Northwest Tack. Do you use temperature sensitive powder or temperature sensitive powder? I don't use temperature sensitive powder because the room that I have that I'm in is actually controlled. It's a controlled type of environment, so I use a non sensitive. Shane, what do you hunt? Deer. Deer and pheasant. Blake, welcome to the chat, Blake. Rushy, my dad is Indian, my mother is American. Same for me. I am Indian, my girlfriend is American. We marry too soon, bro. Well, congrats. Should I say congrats? I don't. Did you get married too soon? Is that what you're saying? Gerald, welcome to the chat, Gerald. What is that for? This is for prepping brass, so we can reload it. Rounds. Hey man, I know this may be off topic, but what's your favorite car? Woo! Old school Dodge Chargers. Those are my favorite. Absolutely my favorite. Sexy. All right, man. I am back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the chat. L. A car that sounds like an AR Mag dumping at high speeds. Al, you're killing me. I love that. Rhett, finally. You'd be surprised. I was doing this last night. This stuff really takes time, and you really gotta have extra time and focus to do this. It's hard for me to do it during the day because there's so much chaos going on. Rhett, I love that car too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anything from the old school is usually really nice, really sticks close to me. That's kind of where I cut my teeth in cars, is old school stuff. Is it Juan? Somebody help me out. Carlos? We'll just say Carlos. Welcome into the chat. How lethal are those spinning threads? They're not lethal. I mean, they're just, they're just spinning. I mean, my fingertips are touching this. They're not lethal at all. I mean, this one's kind of sharp, but this is just a brush. Mine would be the classic Super MK2. Good choice, Ryan. I like that. Northwest Tact. How tight of a crimp do you prefer on a 223? Not, I would say factory crimp. That's what I run. So I don't like to crimp them too much. That's where you start running into issues. Rishi, in my 20. I don't know. It's all about preference. I wouldn't recommend people getting married in their 20s because they don't really know themselves yet. Rhett, right now I'm in the process of building a 1970 Charger. Really? Is that right? Did you buy the shell from a junkyard, or how did you do that? Rishi, now I'm 22. Well, it's all about preference. I mean, I'm kind of glad I didn't get married in my 20s. That'd have been a big mistake. Coley, what was his chat, bud? Your wife bugs you too much during the day, so you can't focus. And she requires a lot of attention. She has big, goofy glasses, too, so it's kind of hard to, you know, pay attention to things. What caliber is that? Saxy? I get dyslexia sometimes. What caliber is that? This is 223. Watch Mechanic. Welcome into the chat, Watch Mechanic. Neat trick for using primers. You can use match powder packed in the primer, well, they are more reactive, so it's kind of a last ditch thing. That's actually pretty interesting. I'm going to keep that comment. Maybe that's something I'll test. I don't think the wife would like that too much. What? I bought it off of Facebook Marketplace, and I was kind of totaled in. I'm thinking about making it into a Dukes of Hazzard card. Yeah, go for it, man. Listen, Facebook Marketplace comes in clutch. Clutch. Anything you need, check Marketplace first. I'm telling you guys. Ron's. AR-AK. Well, I have both. I used to have a really nice AK. It was a Siberian. God, I'm trying to remember. It was a Zatava Z-Pap something like an M70 or something like that. It was had really nice red furniture on it. Shane, my dad told me that Franklin, the mounted deer, that he shot 5 rounds downrange within 10 seconds with a single shot slug gun. Dang, that's the spirit, Shane. Watch Mechanic, AR for versatility, AK for reliability. Yes, sir. I agree with Watch Mechanic. It's actually one of the better comments tonight. Rons, I used to make a handmade gun. Almost got in trouble with the law once. Uh-oh. What's going on, Rons? Z, welcome in. Welcome in, Z. For real, my car got broken into in Portland and all my girlfriend's camera equipment got stolen. Uh-oh. Next day was on Facebook Marketplace. Got it all back. I love that, Z. That's funny. Rushy retracted his message. Rhett, it cost me $1,000. Is that right? It's pretty neat. Northwest Tack. I heard it's hard to reload 5.7 because of the rim being too thin. That is correct. That's why I've stayed away from 5.7. I'll collect the brass, but that's something that's very tedious. It's something I'm looking into, but it's very tedious. I think 5.7, there's another round that's really tedious. One of you guys might know. Sesky. 5.7 kind of expensive, not going to lie for me. Yeah, it's very expensive. Very expensive. For that small of a round. They sound pretty good at the range, though. I've heard guys shooting them. What gun do you recommend for a beginner? What type of beginner? Because are we talking 22? Or are we talking like a 380 or 9mm? I mean, those are kind of the top three for handgun. I won't start anybody that hasn't shot a rifle before. I won't start them. I'll only start them on 22 rifle if they've never shot a rifle before because they need to learn the basics. Rushy, have one boy and a baby will join our family in next week. Well, Rushy, try to get as much sleep as you can because that'll be the only sleep you get. Well, you already have a boy, so you understand. But congrats. Congrats. New baby's always exciting. Shane, by the way, he hit the deer 3 times, 3 double lung, and a heart shot, and the deer just kept walking. That deer was a beast. That's what that was. That deer did not want to go. He knew what was going on. Ron's 9mm. I would recommend the M&P platform, Smith & Wesson. Northwest Bimart sells 5.7 ammo for close to $22 for 50 rounds. See, I can't do that, man. I don't know. There's something about ammo being that expensive. Because I literally sat right next to the machines and watched them get made, and they got high speed loaders loading the stuff. What you guys gotta understand is like 308, they're loading like 57,000 rounds of 308 an hour. An hour. You know, and they already have the boxes ready and everything. Like it's crazy. You guys should. I really wish I would have took more video. There's a random guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Who's walking around at 3 o'clock in the morning? You guys see that? Like who just takes a casual walk? It's literally 20 degrees outside. That's crazy. Anyways, what were we talking about, chat? Rat 440 big block engine into the 970 Charger mile. Whoo! She's going to sing. Shane, what is your opinion on the 7M8? Shane, we need more clarification. Rounds, I even shot my uncle's 12 gauge shotgun. My shoulder was sore the next morning. Yeah, I bet it was. I bet it was. Z is chiming in. I like the MP 9mm and my MP AR-15. Oh man, you got a nice AR. Yeah, you got a couple nice guns. Okay, Z, we see you. Ron's, it was a slug. Yeah, I love slugs and shotguns. Watch mechanic. I built an 80% 1911 about 8 years ago. It was a fun build, and I got 1,200 rounds through it. Yeah, that's how you truly break in a gun. I love 1911s. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love them. Northwest Tack. How many reloads until you start to trim your brass? I trim my brass every time. So the way I do it is I deprime it, trim it, and then it gets to this stage. This is the third and final station. Then it's ready for reloading. So I trim it every time. Now, Federal Cartridge, the FC, they're known for having short cartridges, so I already know that I probably don't have to trim those, but I'll run them through the trimmer anyway. But I know I don't. I know their tolerances on their brass, at least for all their rifle. So I know it's going to be short. Shades, sorry, 7mm 8. Yeah, you're welcome, Z. Z, subscribing to you, man. Thanks for the info and reloading. Yeah, man. Anytime. Thanks for joining the chat. I got a lot of extra content that's coming out, throughout the year. It's got, the way the algorithm works, you can't just keep uploading videos every day because then they think that you're spamming the channel. So you kind of have to space stuff out. So in the in-between time, I try to go live and cut videos and edit videos. But the algorithm really doesn't like when you upload every day. That's one thing I've noticed. Northwest Tack. What's the best sizing lube brand works best? In my personal opinion, it's going to be RCBS. That is some of the bit. Now I bought this from work when I worked there, so it was like I think 50 cents. So I bought 20 of them. But me personally, this is the best stuff. And ironically enough, I just have it right next to me. Rounds. I'm planning on joining the police department so I can own a gun. Nice, Ron. I like that. That's good to hear, man. Definitely keep us updated. I like that. Rhett, I got to clean my gun tomorrow so I can go get the new scope on and then sight it in for hunting season. Yeah, man. That's how you do it. You gotta do it right. Wash mechanic. My AR is chambered in 5.56 and chews through any ammo I feed it. What type of AR do you have? I mean, a lot of the ARs, even the budget ones, are really good. I had a really good 22. It was a Smith and Wesson M&P, and it doesn't matter what any kind of 22 I put through it, it would just eat it. That was the only gun I've ever had that never had a problem with ammo. Use the same size lube, I agree. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. I mean, I have the aerosol stuff and everything, but that's definitely the best. Ret AR-15, maybe. I built it, so no specific brand. Yeah, see, that's why you don't have a problem. Is because you built it, you crafted that gun. So I mean, that should be a compliment to yourself. If you don't have any problems with ammo or anything, man, that's a big compliment to yourself. So good job. Shane, my dad has a double barrel 10 gauge. Your dad is a beast. And I shot it twice, kicks like a mule, but he can shoot it double barrel like it's nothing. That's crazy. See, this is why we check all these, because not only does it have the corncob media in here, but this one I missed in the deprimer. So that's going to go back over here. Shasky, should I stay with the iron sight or should I just install a reflex sight? I would master the. I always teach people to master the iron sights before putting a reflex on anything. Hi. So I would stick with the iron sights until you master them and then put a reflex on it. Should I go for it? Yes. Why are you standing all the way over there? Come over here and give me a kiss. I don't care. That little cute butt. I liked your lighting. That was really neat. I think if I have it lower, it might stimulate a little more. Hold on. I have too much stimulation going on. What'd you say? I think I'm going to try it later, like lower in front, because I had it up this way. There's kind of like a little bit of shadowing. And it's like going weird on my glasses, so I took them off. No, I thought the lighting looked good. That was good, but I think you looked even better. I like this like a little bit more, just a little bit. I like what you do with your eyebrows too. Are you wearing those eyebrows to bed? Only one way to find out. What about the lipstick? Are you wearing that to bed? Only one way to find out. Sorry, gentlemen. The wife came in. My mic was hot. See, which one do you? Good night, live. You said what? I said good night, live. Why don't you come over here and tell them instead of standing over there? They can't hear you. It's mic canceling. Tell them really nicely. I said good night, live. No, tell them in the mic. Say it with your chest. Oh my god. Do it. Why is this in my face? Good night, live. Yeah, sorry. Goodbye. My ASMR voice. Yeah. Sorry, chat. I told you guys I get distracted. That's why you can't do this during the day. Yeah. Which one do you like, MOA or mill? I like both. Me personally. Watch mechanic. Good advice. I can hit a 4-inch target at 150 yards of irons. Yeah. No, it's you gotta. I always teach people, like I said before, always teach them with irons. Let them get proficient and master that, because if you're running like a reflex or an open, a hollow sight or something, what if the battery goes out? And that's the only thing you know how to use, and they don't know how to operate the iron sights. If something happens with that or it gets dropped or whatever, I'll take that reflex off, throw it, and I can still use the irons, Rhett, I'm thinking about getting a new gun. What do you think I should get? Well, what's your budget? That's what I ask people. Northwest. I miss building guns. Stupid Washington AR ban. Arrow Precision is still fighting in court. Really? I didn't know about that. They actually banned ARs? I did not know about that. Rons, I like iron sight more. It can work in any situation. You are absolutely correct. We're at $4,000 budget. Or is that 40,000? Is it Chad, am I reading that right? 40,000? You can get quite a few guns with that, right? We got Red in here. He's got the bags. That's the spirit. I mean, are you here's my next question. Yeah, there you go. 50 BMG. 50 BMG. I've heard you have to have like a whole separate press for a 50 BMG. Like I was reading that in one of the reloading books. Like that's crazy. What will you do with a 50 BMG? I mean, shoot it if you can afford it. Sounds like Russ got the bags. He can shoot that. Watch mechanic 20K on the gun and another 20K in ammo. Well, I don't know. Might have to put 10 on the ammo and put 10 on reloading equipment just for the 50 BMG. But Rhett's got the bags, man. 40. If I had a $40,000 budget, I might have to build a whole separate room in my house. Oh, the wife wouldn't like that. Have fun being responsible and going to a gun range. Well, yeah, it's all about having fun. Shane, I live in Illinois and the gun laws for hunting are kind of dumb. If you hunt with a rifle, it has to be a single shot, and there's only a certain nicked down rifle rounds you can use. What kind of rounds are they restricted to, Shane? That's pretty interesting because nobody ever told me about the hunting laws in Illinois. I'm not too far over. I'm here in Minnesota, so I'd love to hear some input on that. Listen, if Rhett gets a 50 BMG, I think everybody should subscribe to this channel. We have to see that live in action. That's pretty crazy. I know Wisconsin has a lot of. They have a lot of bear. I drove through Wisconsin. Rhett, I was in the military. I salute you, Rhett. We all appreciate it. Russia, I buy Savage Axis 110 Apex. What you say, bro? Is it a good one? Yes. Yes. Rushy, I have two Savage Axises. One's a 308, and I'm telling you, man, those are very, very reliable guns. But you got to keep them clean. If you don't keep them damn things clean, like you're screwed. You're just throwing money away. I heard the classic M16 have a bad iron sight. Really? I haven't heard that one. It's pretty interesting. A bad iron sight though. How do you have a bad iron sight? Would that be a manufacturer issue? One thing I will tell you guys, two of my favorite, or maybe I should say three of my favorite manufacturers are Sig Sauer, um, Ruger. Ruger makes very good guns, and Springfield Armory. Those are kind of my top three. I'm not a big fan of Glock guns. I was telling some guy this the other night on a separate live. I'm not a really big fan of Glocks. Um, Back when I first bought my first Glock, which was like, God, it must have been 10, 11 years. It was a while ago. I had nothing but problems with it, and I realized that it was actually a manufacturer defect. But I never really went back to the Glock. If I did, I would probably try to find a 10 millimeter. and just see how that goes. Shane, you can't use 7 millimeter out of 8. Really? Why? But why such a specific? Why would they ban? You can or you can't use it. That's what I'm curious. Because why would they ban such a specific round? I have 7 millimeter out of 8 brass. Red. Either it's adjusted to wrong or off. Is that from the factory? That'd be crazy. Watch mechanic. I also have a 1944 M44 Mazin Nagnet. The 7.62 by 54R rounds are certainly interesting since it's the Russian equivalent of the 30-06. See, I did not know that, mechanic. I did not know that whatsoever. And that's interesting because I run into a lot of 7.62 by 54R brass, and I have a lot of it. A lot of it. And I didn't know that that was the Russian equivalent to 30-06. So that's very intriguing. I'm going to keep that comment for later. Do you like Kel-Tec's guns? I have mixed feeling on Kel-Tec. I've heard good things about them. I've held them, and I've personally never shot one. I don't know if I want to, but I've heard good things about it. I know that they had that popular. It was like a foldable style. I think it was like a 19 or like a 9 millimeter or something, but it was called like a backpack gun or something. I've heard mixed things about Celtic, but overall I've heard good things. Adjust this camera. Shane, there is a lot of banned nicked down rounds for hunting, but the 7.8 is the one I have. I mean, and that's such a oddball caliber too. You know what I'm saying? Mechanics. Some of the 54R brass can't be reloaded since the hole on the rear of the brass is too small to punch out the old primer. Now, I've I've sold a lot of the empty shell brass of the 54Rs. Some guys are reloading them evidently. So they must have like special decapping pins or some sort of a special setup in order to reload those. Because I don't think those are burred-in primers where they have the two flash holes. As far as I believe, I don't think that that's the 54Rs are burred-in primers. So if I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the chat. But runs, what time is it in your country right now? It's 5:19 p.m. in my country. That is so crazy. It's 3:20 in the morning here. That is so crazy. 5:19 in the evening. Rushy. Some people make different types of gunpowder to increase pressure. You think it is right? Otherwise, the gun would explode. Yeah, uh, I could say a lot about gunpowder. I mean, I've used a lot. I've seen a lot. I've seen commercial powder used. So I mean, I could say quite a bit about that. Runs. Kel-Tec manufactures some interesting guns. Yeah, and that quote unquote is very spot on. Very spot on. Because you almost question, am I really seeing this? Rhett, I might get the 50 BMG, but I'm going to spend a lot of money on the 1970 Dodge Charger. Well, I mean, me, I don't know. I would get the 50 BMG, but you also don't want to spend all the money on the 50 and have your Charger sitting in the garage or the shed or the wherever it's sitting. I'd want to get that running and then put the 50 BMG in the back of that and take it to the range. Talk about pull it out the bag. Watch mechanic. The old surplus cases are the dual hole primers. So, okay, I didn't know that. Watch. The dual hole primers. The dual holes are considered burden primers, and some guys like to reload that stuff. You know, I mean, if I see a case, especially the steel and aluminum, if I see cases like that, they go right in recycling. Let's see, Shane, the 7.8 shoots at 2,800 feet per second and creates, I'm guessing, 24,000 foot-pounds of force. It's just insane. Yeah, I've heard nasty things about that gun in a good way. Because my thing is, once when I buy inventory brass or I find it, and I find new calibers that I haven't seen before, I'll go and watch, a YouTube deal on it for 2 hours. I mean, because that's just how I am. With the 303 British, I did that, and I was stuck watching that for hours. Who came up with it? How was it designed? How does it shoot? And there's a lot of calibers like that. Brett, my dad has a 440 big block sitting in the shop, so he lets me have it in the car is for my dad's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Dad. Rhett's got a good setup going. But can you imagine Rhett showing up to the range, especially an outdoor range where everybody's shooting? He pulls up in the Charger, and then they're like, oh man, look at the car, and everybody's taking pictures and looking at it and staring. It grabs everybody's attention, especially Dukes of Hazzard color. And he parks whatever, gets out, and he just pops the back trunk, whatever. Like, oh man, he's coming to shoot, and he just pulls out this big 50 BMG. Like, who the hell? Who is this guy? Rhett would have the biggest nuts on the range that day, quite literally. Watch mechanic. Know the dangers of overloading powder in a bullet. Watch Kentucky Ballistics 50 BMG explosion. It almost killed him. I actually saw that video and I watched it 2 or 3 times. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. The whole gun blew up. That was the video I watched. Rounds. I like 18Ks. Guns. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Gotta love their guns, especially in 45. Shane, have you seen the 22 Creedmoor? No, I have not. Enlighten me. Rhett, my family is more important to me. And Rhett, that's what it's about. So you got it going. That's a good way to put it. I mean, me personally, I would want to see my dad happy more than anything. That's what I would want. But there are guys that reload 50 BMG, and that damn round is huge. Grushy, 1970 Dodge Charger, cool car. I use 1969 Ford Mustang and Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red Eye. Oh, Rushy, you got it going on for being in your 20s. What's going on here? I love that for you, Rushy. It's pretty cool. And you know, it's funny, Rushy. I am a businessman, bro. Oh, I know. You didn't have to tell me. As soon as I saw that comment, I knew. Real recognized real, Rushy. I'm proud of you. Rhett. My dad always wanted a 440 big block 1970 Dodge Charger, Dukes of Hazzard style. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. You know, man, I love my dad to death. I mean, he taught me everything about what you're seeing right now. Wash mechanic. I have a 1985 Dodge D150 pickup that I've been taking care of and driving. Has a 5.9 V8. Whew, man. 727 3 speed. Now that mechanic, that I like that. I like that. That's cool. Rounds, especially the HK USP 45 is a 6 again. Yeah, that's what I was referring to, Rounds. That's the exact gun I was referring to. I got that on sale. Shane, I have seen vids on the Creedmoor, and it can shoot at 3,600 feet per second with an 80 grain round. 30, yeah, it's crazy. 3,600 feet with an 80 grain round. You know how much power that has behind it? Oh man, that is absolutely nuts. Rhett, my dad taught me how to shoot guns and build cars. I have to pay him back, and with I'm assuming with his dream car. Yeah, man, because you know not a lot of people have that. So yeah, I 100% agree with you, Rhett. You're doing the right thing. It's pretty cool, man. And just off topic, this the second round of brass, because if anybody was in here last night, I did this bucket of brass. This is, about the same head stamp, but it's about the same amount of brass, and that took me 82 minutes to do that bucket I just showed you guys. This one I'm almost done with, and it's 76 minutes. So now I'm starting to kind of get an idea of how long this actually takes. But again, I'm farting around, reading comments, talking to you guys. I don't think I could, if I was just doing this by myself, I don't think I could stand here for 80, 90 minutes and just do this. Watch mechanic. It's nice because it was all optioned up: power windows, power locks, cruise control, AC, larger small block, built transmission. But the original owner cheaped out and got highway gears in the back. Come on, man. Man, why would he do that? Rons, I had a boring day today. You made my day, man. Thanks. It's been amazing talking with you. Yeah, Rons, thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Glad I made your day better. I mean, we just come on here to shoot the shit with everybody. I mean, it's a lot better than just sitting by yourself. I mean, sometimes it's nice, but it's nice to have fellow shooters and reloaders to talk to. That's pretty cool. And this machine isn't even hot. See if we can sweep some of this up. Now, I haven't counted how many rounds I've processed, but those rounds from yesterday's, or I should say last night's live, those are finished rounds. So those are, ready to load, as I would call Let me see. I don't want to get this stuff all over the bench. I wish they would have made like a top cover for this thing. You know, like a dust cover you can like set right over the top with all this stuff on there. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have a 3D printer. I've never owned one, but maybe that'd be something that you could 3D print. I don't know. Watch mechanic. It's almost 3 a.m. here in Colorado. Yeah, you're not too far from me. I'm just up here in Minnesota. It's like 3:32 here. Rushy. I modify my car with nitro and 2+ tuning. Do you want my own? That's pretty cool, man. Runs. It is legal to own a fully automatic gun in your country. If you have the proper paperwork and you can pass your check, your checks and requirements, then yeah, you can legally own one. But there's special checks, and I think you have to get fingerprinted as well. I mean, it'd be something to look into. It's pretty neat. That's more of like a showstopper type of thing. If you just want to go and have some fun with your buddies, at a controlled range or something. Rounds, it is, but you need licensing. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I missed your comment, mechanic. Yeah, they do heavy vetting on stuff like that. For the right reasons. I agree. It's been something I've been wanting to do. It'd be pretty neat to, you know, run some of my reloads through an automatic just to, just to see, you know, get your right licensing and do all your checks and everything. I mean, that'd be pretty cool, man. Brett, if I do buy the 50 BMG, my girlfriend is going to put me in a doghouse. Well, do you want the 50 BMG or do you want the doghouse? I mean, I take the doghouse. Does it have power outlets so you can plug in your phone, or can you run an extension cord? Are you allowed to do that? I mean, if you can at least run an extension cord and charge your phone. Shane, I am sick right now and it's been one of those sleepless nights. So I was just scrolling and decided to watch your stream for a bit. And you have made my day. Thanks. Yeah, Shane. Thanks for watching and tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully you get better. I know there's a lot of stuff going around. I was sick in December for a couple weeks, so yeah, definitely try to get some sleep, Shane. Definitely try to get some sleep. I'm gonna let this piece of brass spin on there for entertainment purposes. I'm gonna go and try to look for something really quick. I don't know if I'll find it. But maybe we will. Maybe we will. Let me see. Figured you guys would like it if I could actually find it. I don't. Oh, maybe it's in here. Maybe. Ahaha! I found it. I found it, you guys. Oh boy, I'm glad I found it. So, this is what a 50 BMG is. So, Rhett, this is what Rhett's looking at buying, everybody. Look at that compared to this. Ain't that something? Maybe I'll put it back here. Look at that. Now, Rhett's talking about shooting that. Man, that is crazy. And this is live. This is full of powder. absolutely full powder, live primer. That is a real 50 BMG. Now that is crazy. Now, would I like to shoot it? Yeah. But how many rounds would I realistically shoot? All right, Rons. Thanks for stopping in, man. Yeah, for sure. Let me see. Watch. Technically, you don't have to do the checks with the right. Know how to modify things just to have prepared. Yeah, not me, watch. I'm doing all my checks. Every single one of them. I keep all my receipts, everything. I'm not doing none of that. Rhett, no, I can't. Watch. I'm only joking, of course, but the consequences far outweigh the benefits. That's correct, watch. I try to do everything legally, lawfully, legitimately, all my paperwork. That's, that's definitely just me. I mean, there's a lot of people that are stupid and goons out here. Here's a 30-06 in comparison. So we have maybe I have a completed 223. Here's a messed up one. These are just for show. This one in specific. I keep some of these that I mess up on. So that's a completed 223. That's an empty one. That's a completed one. 223. There's a 30-06. That's a 50 BMG. Rushy. I shoot bigger than 50 BMG. I shoot 12.7 by 108. Yeah, see, Rushy, you're a beast. Coley, Mr. Bullet. That's right. Oh, Mr. Bullet, you're so big. All right, yeah, I'm done. Yep. So that's your 50 BMG for you guys. I just wanted to do a little example and show everybody what the deal was. All right. So now, at this point of the stage, there's a lot of brass shavings here. I don't want to get them stuck in my fingers. So now comes the final stage, which I'll just do a couple of examples quick. I won't make this into a live stream, or maybe I will. I don't know. Won't be tonight though. But my next step for my next trick, watch mechanic. I found a fired 50 BMG bullet in a machine I worked on once. That's crazy. Did you keep it? Or did you put it in your pocket? He said you found it in a machine. Was it a lawnmower? That's pretty crazy. Let me move this camera down a little bit. Rhett. So I talked to my girlfriend and she said, if I do end up getting the gun, I will be in the doghouse for 3 years. Listen, that's 3 years well spent. I would do it. Can't threaten me with a good time. You got local pizza delivery? You got 24-hour gym? I mean, you'll be good. That's well worth it. Just here's the thing, Rhett. Will the girlfriend be there in 3 years? That's my question. They're gonna be there, but will she be there? That's the real question. So you got to kind of look at the cost benefit analysis. Or what I would call in the business world ROI, return on investment. Will you be getting your return on that investment? Hopefully she's not watching the live and she can hear me trying to explain that to you. Because she'll come through the phone and slap me in the face. He said, what? Oh, so men just think women are business investments. So for all my reloaders, you should know what this is. This is the final step. Uh-oh. And the biggest thing, you don't want to get lube on these neck cases. So before I put these in the press, I'll actually wipe those neck cases down. I always double check and wipe them down anyway. But I've broken already 3 decapping pins because they weren't properly lubricated. Watch, it was an aerial lift machine known as a man lift, correct? It hit the fuel tank and it was in perfect condition. Oh, what in the world? Really? That's pretty crazy. Perfect condition, huh? Rhett, we've been together ever since elementary school. Damn, Rhett, that's a tough one, man. That's definitely a tough one. I would still buy it and take the 3 years in the doghouse. You can go inside the house, I'm sure, for food and water and maybe a clean blanket, but you'll be stuck to that doghouse for 3 years. But I don't know, man. Whew, that's a tough call. I mean, ask her if she'll at least invite you in to watch a movie every once in a while, because we don't want to be watching movies by ourselves. If you guys can kind of come to an agreement that you can come in and watch a movie every once in a while, and you can spend 5 or 10 minutes in the house. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it, Rhett. I mean, I've had to sleep outside before. It definitely wouldn't be an issue for me. You sleep in the garage. Okay, fine with me. So these are obviously 50 a piece. I don't think I can zoom the screen. But these are 50 a piece. So I just like to stack them on top of each other. Like so. And I use these so they stay lubricated and they stay clean and free of debris. Now, usually I'm wearing gloves for this. Watch. Longer than me and mine, Rhett. Been together since freshman year. Whew. Mechanic and Rhett, you guys are... Hats off to you guys. Believe me, I tried. I couldn't do it. Rhett, well, I'm thinking about marrying her. Listen, Rhett, if you guys been together since elementary school, there ain't no more thinking for me to do. That's a done deal for me. That's a long time. You guys might as well just go on down to the courthouse, get your papers filed, and call it a day. Because after that long, I wouldn't want to look at anybody else, So I support your decision. So just get it done and let's move on to our next chapter in this wonderful thing we call life. Rhett, I got the ring. I don't know when the right time is. I'll tell you what, Rhett. You'll know when the right time is. Yeah, trust me. You keep it in your pocket, keep it with you. Make sure she don't find it, but you'll know when the right time is. Watch. It's been 13 years for me. We never saw the point in getting the papers. I mean, I can support that, mechanic. I can definitely support that. I mean, I know a lot of people that are like that too. I can definitely support you with that. I mean, you're with somebody so long. I mean, I don't know. You know everything about them. They know everything about you. It's like, what's the point? There's nothing. There's nothing out here. I'm telling you guys. If you got what you got, be happy with what you got. Polish your rock, as my mechanic would used to tell me. Just polish the rocks you have, or the rock you have, whatever he said. If you know that rock, you've been with that rock for so long, it knows you. So we know we got 100, just about 100 rounds here. So that's 3. You always want to make sure that these. Now that one fell on the floor. We're not going to use that. Apologies, but your watch is atrocious, dude. I know. I swear to God. I know, man. This is literally. I wear this watch every day, and this is like, it's one of those watches that you don't take off. If you're working in the garage or going to work or working on your truck or something. I mean, it's just one of the watches you wear everywhere for everything. So yeah, they eventually do look atrocious like this, man. And this watch isn't even a year old. I'm not kidding. I bought this a year ago. Rhett says, "Do you have any places that you can think of where I can take my girlfriend and propose to her?" You guys have been together since elementary school. Whew. I mean, where were your guys' favorite place to hang out as kids? Where did you guys have your guys' first kiss at with each other? What was a spot that you know that you guys went, or a date you guys went on, and you generally felt that she was happy to be there, and really appreciated it, and you guys felt like you had a connection. I mean, there's a lot of ideas, man. There's a lot of ideas, but that special spot that you proposed to her is going to be something she remembers the rest of her life. So be very careful with your decision, and think, and like us men, logically think it through. Take your time and think it through. Because it could be anywhere, and you guys have been together that long. It shouldn't be too hard to figure out something. What's some of her favorite places? What's some of her favorite, you know, you know, what are some things she grew up with? I mean, there's a lot of options when you guys have been together that long, man. Because I mean, that's quite literally a lifetime for me. I mean, you're talking elementary school, yeah. You just gotta. What I would do is I would get a notebook that she can't find, and go somewhere quiet by herself. Hopefully out of the house, and just start brainstorming. Go back on some memories that you guys have and write them down. The best way that I found to get things that are too caught up in my head is just to write them down. Even if it's a blank piece of paper or a dedicated journal, just write stuff down. That way it's not sitting in your head and taking up space. Us men, we need our head. A lot of us don't use our heads, but we need them. We definitely need them. Watch mechanic. I only wear mechanical watches. I have a few shorts, I'm guessing sorts of them, that I fix on my channel too. I wear a mechanical tool watch with a sapphire crystal so it never scratches. Interesting. So watch mechanic, are you actually like a watch mechanic? Is that what I'm getting? If so, that's pretty cool, man. I might have to sub to your channel. Rhett. The arcade, it was always the arcade for Rhett. Well, I mean, that could be your answer. Watch mechanic. So I have a thing with clocks, actually. Let me wash my hands and I'll show you. Because this drives people nuts about the room that I do my reloading stuff in. It drives people absolutely nuts. But I do have a thing for clocks, and I like mechanical clocks, minus my watch on my wrist. But I thoroughly like mechanical clocks. And anybody that ever comes in and, whatever, let's see, watch mechanic. Haha, I'm a heavy diesel mechanic, but I fix vintage watches. A well-rounded individual. That's my type of people watch. When I get off this live, I'm gonna check out your channel. But like I was saying, now this time is wrong because I never set that clock back. This clock is actually, I think, about 6 years old. This was my grandfather's that I inherited. And then I have this one. I can't remember where this clock came from, but that's always been in that same spot. And then I have a third one, which is right here, which I got from work. And I mean, it's just ticking away. And all three of them are ticking at the same time. And it's completely quiet in here. Me, I get used to it. It doesn't bother me. But when other people come in here, like, man, I don't know how you sit in this room with 3 clocks going off all at the same time. It doesn't bother me one bit. So, but then I got my wall goodies up here. Those are just some rounds that I've made. I like to keep one of every round that I make. So that's just some shot once ammo. Those are all range finds. So those are other guys' mistakes, none of my own. You see, some people had some pretty bad times with their own loads. I wish Andy was still in here because at this point, I'm technically done for the night. But if Andy was still in here, I could actually show him. Maybe I'll show you guys that are still in here. Here are some of the collection that I got when I used to work at the plant. So these are some playing cards. As you can see, they've been there for a while. There's a book that tells you everything about it. Some glasses, some knickknacks, some hats. These are just some blank rounds. Some more knickknacks that were in the store. And these are all rounds that I made that I screwed up on the machine. So, and yes, every single one of those was my mistake. So, I mean, I wish Andy was in here. I could show him, but I think he had to bounce out for the night. But I typically don't show that kind of stuff on this channel. Rhett, she loves the arcade, fancy restaurants like Texas Roadhouse, and we live on the countryside, so she loves the country. Well, I mean, those are all good ideas, man. I mean, if it if it was me, if she loved the arcade like that, that could be one option on a really busy night, because you want to show her off and make sure that she feels appreciated and heard. So that's one option. I do it on a really busy night. Fancy restaurants like Texas Roadhouse, we have those up here. That's a really good option. Again, I would do that on a busy night, like a Friday or a Saturday night, and I would call Texas Roadhouse ahead of time and let them know, so maybe they can play a part in it and help you plan it out. Because I know that they like to do special events and stuff like that. So, and then maybe you guys can, jump in your truck and go watch the stars or something. If she loves the country like that, go hit a cornfield or something. I mean, those are just some ideas. Watch mechanic. I can't stand quartz clocks, watches since they tick at 1 hertz or 1 tick a second. Old mechanical watches beat at 18,000 beats per hour or 4 hertz. I did not know that. That's actually really interesting. That's actually really interesting. I don't know. I've always had a thing for I've always had a thing for you know clocks. I've just never been a fancy type of watch guy. I mean, back in my 20s, I would buy some nicer watches or whatever, but I mean, I wasn't really big on you know flash or anything, especially as I got into my 30s. I still have some of my fancier, you know, really nice quote unquote watches from my 20s, but I mean, I'll probably never wear them again. I just think they're too much. I just think a good cheap watch for at least the stuff I do, because I work with my hands a lot. I just think a good, cheap watch, as much as you hate these, I think a good cheap watch like this, for me at least, is fine. I just don't want to get a mechanical watch and have it break, because I mean that'd break my heart. It's like all the love I gave, all the things we did with this watch, and you're just gonna break on me. I feel so empty. Newer mechanicals beat at 21,600 beats per hour. Am I reading that right? Beats per hour? Or 6 hertz, and high end watches like Rolex beat at 28,800 or 8 hertz. See, I didn't know any of that. This is a learning experience for me. That's pretty cool. That's definitely pretty cool, man. This is for my next trick. That's for tomorrow. I'm not touching that tonight. But I appreciate the tips, watch mechanic. I'll definitely you definitely got me interested now. One thing I've always wanted to get is I've always wanted to get a, what do you call it? A grandfather clock. That's one thing I've always wanted to get. But every time I try to get it, I don't know, somebody else takes it or whatever. But I've always wanted a good grandfather clock. I think that would be a really good investment to me personally. Tool watches are meant to be beat on. Rolex steel cased watches are tool watches too, as long as it has a sapphire crystal field. Feel free to beat on them. Really? I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to keep these comments and look into that. Maybe on one of my lives in the future, you'll see me with a better watch on. Rhett says Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, ironically enough, that's actually where I looked at grandfather clocks. like I said, by the time you try to get them, they're gone. You know, because a lot of people can give them away for free, and they still work. You know, but then that's too bad. Watch, they still need to be serviced. Really, and I didn't know they need to be serviced. See, this is all new learning for me. I would have never thought about that. But you got to think, some of these sat in the same spot for fucking 20, 30 years. So it makes sense that they would still need to be serviced. But with that, my feathery friends, we are definitely done for the night. We're at 110 minutes. So anybody that hasn't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next live.